Awesome. All right, we're jumping straight in today. We're not messing around. We don't have a lot of time. We should have enough time to do all of Dwarves, because that's next on the list. There are dwarves in these woods. What's that from? Anyway, jumping straight in. No dilly-daddling. Is that the term? I actually didn't even look over this before I recorded, or before I started recording. Honestly, I'm not a super big fan of the dwarves. I think there's quite a few of them that I do like, but ultimately not really my jam. Which is funny because they're traditionally quite Norse, and I have a lot of Nordic appreciation. Anyway, as usual, no uncommons, or pardon me, no commons. Starting off with uncommons, and I can respect that, where there's not really need to add commons into the game at this point. And yeah, from what I remember, a lot of these guys have the same skin, like Kurzad, Painsmith, Icebound, like all look the same. Anyway, we'll find out. Oh my god, I gotta see if Candleguard has heals. No heals? Okay. Hold on. Well, I know we'll get to a lot of them. Uh-huh. Because putting heals on a dwarf would be akin to blasphemy. Anyway. That's hilarious. Not one heal. That's awesome. That's a fun fact I didn't realize I didn't even know. Jeez, freaking Hilda's huge. Alright. Starting at the bottom. Pardon me, I think I'm getting a cold. Again, solid. You know, and I think this is gonna be like a common theme. I guess for right now it's a common theme. Just because of these just being added later in the game. Comparatively speaking. I mean, he's a 6, right? I mean, nothing crazy. I mean, he's a dwarf. He's got a cool tattoo. Simple textures. Obviously, could tell where he belongs in the factions. Yeah, the hands are bad, but that's again to be expected from an uncommon. The textures on the fabrics are good. Love the little top knot. 6. Cool. Oh, sorry. All right. This dude, what's the freaking guy? Is it Tekken? Is it Tekken? Oh, I don't know my fighting games. Who has this? Oh, God. I'm sure I could pull it up. I'm not going to, just because I don't want to waste too much time. But, good God. That is such a move. I mean, the dude's a Giga Chad, right? He's got cool little freaking knuckle duster here. The sword is awesome. And because of the camera, I can't really see it all. I freaking hate this camera, dude. Arch nemesis. The freaking PJs are just odd. I don't understand what's happening here. I think for creativity, he gets a 6, right? but good lord. 6. He's cool looking. The textures just don't really do well for me. Like, I think it's just so far from other textures in the game. Like, it doesn't look finished, in my opinion. The neck piece, obviously, you could tell he was chained somewhere. He was a prisoner of some sort. Icebound prospector, so you could assume that he's some type of, slave of some sort or something. Turning evil due to his, I don't know, being subjected to work all the time or something. I don't know. Regardless, I think conceptually he's cool. I know we're going to see this model a couple times. I don't really like this. It looks like a mix of like it's like paint, like splattered paint. It doesn't scream Frost to me. It seems messy. So I would say just 5. Yeah, he just makes it just barely. If I was, I mean, do I say 4? Yeah, the light's outside, by the way. So, and I'm not fixing it because it's snowing and it's gorgeous. And I want to see it. Anyway. What was I saying? Oh, a 4. I might give him a 4 because though there is creativity, like again, the hair moves. I can appreciate that. A lot of the Sylvan Watchers' hairs didn't move. Similarly, the Shadowkin hair didn't move. So I can give point. I'm giving a 4, dude. I don't like him. Sorry. Line infantry. Honestly, I would have assumed we were in rares by now. This looks like a rare to me. I think this actually looks pretty good. The boots look good. The bootstraps look good. A lot of 3D happening. The satchel's good. The shield is good. Everything about this screams like B tier. Like just this is a dwarf. So I would say 6. Okay. Again, unique, right? You gotta give it to him. If Borderlands had a dwarf, it's this guy. Right? I don't think I really need to say too much on this guy. I think a lot of it speaks for itself. That was bad. You see that? Ooh. Yikes. Yeah, that's bad. Interesting. I wonder if there was a tattoo that was cut off here. Yeah, I mean 5. He adds a little bit of flavor, and I get that. But because of how stupid he looks, there was a point added and a point subtracted. So 5. All right, same model again. Similar axe, I think. Yeah. Same axe, just, one was painted on with some type of, I don't know. Anyway, I enjoy this a lot more. I think this actually fits. I think the clipping on the ground isn't too bad. I know it's pretty similar to the other guy. 3Ds, I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying this. The studs are cool. Red eyes. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, the colors looks better on this. and I appreciate it more. So this gets 5.5. Okay. This dude is straight out of freaking Age of Sigmar. Right? I mean, completely ripped off. What the fuck are you doing? Why are you... What was that animation? What was he doing with this gun? The knife is huge. It's awesome. That's not a knife. Alright, that's a cool animation. The tattoos are fine, right? Some freaking Gears of War. Do the animation again. What the hell was that? Okay, well, he's not going to do it again. That animation's fine. Obviously, a lot of poor clipping. Nobody's going to see this on a rare, and I understand that. So, I mean, I think he makes a 6. He makes the mark. He adds a little bit of flavor. 6. Painsmith. This guy, I think, I enjoyed this color scheme the most. I think this is awesome. You'll notice on the last, what was his freaking name? This guy. On Kurzad, this little lantern back here wasn't lit. And on the uncommon, it was. So I appreciate this on the uncommon. On the rare, on Kurzad, it wasn't lit. So I didn't say anything, but I thought about it. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's kind of disappointing. But then on Painsmith, it's lit again and again. I like that, right? I love a little bit of flavor, a little bit of diversity. A base speed of 100, Jesus. So I think this guy gets a 6. I think he's cool. I like the studs that are black, like that tarnished black. It's cool. 6. This dude, I enjoy a good flail. Flails are so cool. That animation's odd. I appreciate the physics on the flail too. He's clipping through the ground pretty heavily. Yeah, he's got a lot of movement to him. And because of how much plate he has on, all that movement doesn't look good. Right? That's a lot of clippage. Yeah, that takes me out of it. That's just too goofy. I think I might be a bit harsh on the dwarves. I don't know if I like them. Oh man, this is gonna be tough. I'm thinking giving him another 4, because that clipping is just so. I get it. You know, his aesthetic. He's looking tough. But I'm giving a 4. I'm sorry. Oh man, a lot of the dwarves are just goofy. 1 second. All right, where was I? Ah, yes. Dwarves are goofy. All right. Well, I feel really bad because I think I'm going to give a lot of these guys a pretty bad score. Surely because of taste. But I'm right. So I think this dude, again, I think it's just good filler. I think it's 5. He meets the requirement. And that's it. This guy literally is just a reskin. Again. They didn't even change the hair. Oh boy. 5. Not getting too deep into it, right? Alright. This guy I appreciate. This guy's cool. Master Butcher. He's got a ladle, maybe some salt pouches, some spices here, a fillet knife, obviously a freaking mallet, right? This, is that a lid to a pot for a shield? That's a fun touch. I like that. And then naturally you have the ears, right? You gotta have the ears. Obviously a menacing look. Yeah. This guy's cool. He gets 6.5. Oh no. Oh no. This dude. Isn't he a character in Ben 10? Man. Good lord. I mean, he's unique. It's somebody's aesthetic, man. It's just... I'm giving a 5.5. Because so many points are being given and taken away. Because I don't think it looks good. But, it is what it is. 5.5. Unique. The shield's cool. I don't know what's in those balls. I'm also not too sure what the helmet's supposed to be. Right? It's clearly like trying to mimic something. I just don't know what it is. Yeah. I mean 5.5. Right? Nothing crazy. Kilt is fun. Okay. Is this dude just dwalling? Oh my god. Like the frickin' Witcher symbol? Or, no, that's a bear. Yeah. I mean, this guy's cool. He's got keys. You know, he's the lore keeper. Huh. I actually really like this dude. It's a 7. You can see where they pinned the chain, right? So like the physics don't really, they're not really holding up, and obviously clipping through the beard is ridiculous, but yeah, it's fun. Seven. Just a reskin. Oh boy. That's this faction, man. This faction has so many reskins. And you could be like, well, they're uniform, they're clan based, or they're whatever. And it's like, yeah, sure. I think it's a cop out. So, 5. This dude's cool. That's a menacing look. And I don't know if it's like synonymous with a lot of dwarf lore, but I think is it Tolkien's lore that the older a dwarf gets, like the harder they are. They just get like stronger with age. I think that's lore. And I'm carrying that over to here. So, being that he's an honor guard and he looks old as hell, this dude's freaking iron, you know? 7. Oh man. This dude's in Star Trek. Unique. I'll say 5.5. The textures are not good. The hooks are interesting. Beast, wrestler. The freaking beard is just made of plastic. Yeah, 5.5. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I think she's cool. I think she's unique in all like the right ways. I think there's so much like potential like storytelling with this model. I think this is cool. I think this is a 7. Flailer. Right. Oh man. Here we go again. All the fidgeting. If this dude just sat still, he would have a better score. Because again, the armor just it just pulls me out. You know? Like it looks so cool. But the more you move, the more you show that it's an illusion. Like look at the freaking textures on this kilt. Or tabard or dress or however you want to say it. Tunic. He looks like he's trying to hold something here. Yeah, I don't know, man. Ugh. It's a little cringy, right? All of the like aspects of this look cool until he moves. And it makes me mad. 4. This is cool. I don't know if I've ever seen this dude. Oh, this dude's super cool. The hair's bad. It's a rare, so you know, a little bit of leeway. Yeah. All the little trinkets on him, all the potions, crystals, the 3D on his tunic. Right? All the engraved tablets. Obviously, the staff is awesome. Like a little mini version of Senna's. 7.5. The white eyes. Yeah. 7.5. I can almost hear his voice, you know? Yeah. Oh, boy. Oh, no. I'm sorry, guys. It's a 5. There's not enough unique happening here. But you can still tell where he belongs. You know, you can still tell that this is a dwarf. So, 5. filler. Okay. Honestly, the shield kind of gives me like that Aztec vibe a little bit. Oh, that's fun. That's a fun animation. It's a shame that it's on this dude because like he looks a little bit more composed and less silly, in my opinion. Somebody that's seasoned, somebody that's old, if he's about to show off, I would imagine he's got it down pat. Because he's not this old, where he might the excuse can be made like, oh, he doesn't have the reflexes he used to. Obviously, that might be true with this guy, but this guy isn't nearly as aged. So that animation, I don't know. Should I be a little bit more harsh or not? Because of the animation, I don't know. Regardless, I think he still is filler-ish. So, I would say 6. This guy's kind of cool. I don't think I've ever seen this. This is kind of cool. Again, I'm a bit biased to the black, gold, and red. I like that the helmet makes it look like it's like the shield on his beard. That's kind of cool. Obviously, I think you're gonna get a lot of poor clipping with all this armor. This whole faction's gonna have a lot of clippage. Maybe that's why I don't like them. They just seem very cringy. I'd say 6. I mean, he's nice, right? Yeah. I think this dude is like the most 6. Like he's very monotone. He's very, not a lot of colors to him, which I appreciate that not every dwarf is trying to stand out and, try to be its own thing. And this dude is just, a Joe Schmo. You can imagine, hundreds or thousands of this type of model, this, in an army. Yeah, 6. Oh man. Oh, we're already getting into the freaking epics. Oh, I'm going way too fast. Oh no. I think, in my opinion, which is all that matters, this chick. Oh man. All right. So what's going on through my head is I love the color scheme. I love her fortitude. Right. All of the themes in her armor mimic her weapon. Right. Nothing is cringy. Nothing's clipping too bad. She's not moving around too much. She's a proportional, as much as you can get proportions on a dwarf. This is a very proportional dwarf. She gets a 10. I don't think, like, the only downsides are the textures in her hair. Like, that's pretty poor. So if I were to take the hair in consideration, I would maybe bump it down to a 9. But I'm not. And I think I'm right in giving her a 10. I think she's a perfect dwarf. I mean, for being an epic, this is as good as it gets. Okay. This is a very cool model. Very menacing. Right? Very corrupted dwarf giving into the dragon sickness. Right? Getting to that point. Not too much movement, but just enough. I'm pretty sure this is the same. That's the same animation as Newt, right? Yeah, I like it. Obviously, the colors are awesome. Nine. So, the face isn't too bad. It's a bit dead. It's a bit plastic. But it's not too bad. Honestly, the more I look at her, I can't tell what's wrong. Something about it. Is it the... Honestly, I think it's just like the neck up. I don't think the face and the hair... I think they're just going to pull me out a bit. With how emotive the body is. And how little the head is. Like, I'd almost rather her have a helmet. Like a mask. I do appreciate a lot of these animations. This is very cool. I love the extra plating on the knuckles. Not too much, you know. It's still mimicked on the boots. You know, a lot of the patterns are the same. You know, we got the tattoos. We have the hair pieces. You know, a lot of them are just very similar. Yeah, I think she gets 7.5. I think I'm comfortable with that. All right. All right. Idea-wise, it's very cool. Execution, very poor. Right? What's up here? What does this look like? Oh, I can't even see the freaking weapon. Oh, God. All right. Well, I think it's similar to that dragon dwarf that we were just looking at. Dude, I'm saying this is a 5.5. I like that, you know, he's got a bit of a gut, you know, and he looks a bit menacing. Eyes are a bit crazy and sunken in. You know, he's a bit of a lunatic. Bit of a loose cannon. But I mean, in your idle stance, like this just looks so bad. The axe going into the shoulder piece and how low texture the rest of the body is. Yeah. Yeah. I'm saying 5.5. That feels good. This dude, I have a soft spot for him. This guy was my first Void Epic on my whole account. It was my first one. And I was so mad because he didn't really do damage. And I was looking for, you know, somebody... Where's my hat supposed to be? Right here. Stop touching it. He didn't do damage, right? He was a support. And I wanted things that went boom. But ultimately, like, this appearance looks so cool. That doesn't look good, right? That's, I'm not arguing that. The way that the shoulder clips away from the rest of the hood, that's a yikers. The plastic beard. I don't want to look too much further. I'm ruining my nostalgia. Yeah, the tunic is cool. The keys are cool. The eyes are cool. The hood's cool. 7.5. Huh. Honestly, I think she gets an 8. I think she is badass. I think she looks so cool. I love that, that bronze. I love the skulls on her shins, right? Yeah, I think she's awesome. And the sword is nice and simple, but it's huge and 8. The eyes are not super dead, but they're dead in a way that makes it look like she is just kind of crazy. Like yeah, it looks like they're not dead because of lack of animation. They look dead because she is just crazy. 8. A lot of storytelling with this guy, right? It's freaking like this dude is awesome. He's plucked straight out of a freaking D&D campaign. This dude gets an 8. All of this makes sense. Multi-classing. He's, bard. Yep. Nope. I love it. 7.5. Only reason I didn't give him an 8 is the eyes. I don't really like those eyes. Now she is another one that is just kick ass. Look at the freaking, again, textures aren't great, but it's not necessarily what you're looking at when you see her. You might not be able to stop seeing how bad that is, but nice simple animation, nothing crazy. Not clipping. Sturdy on the ground. Yeah. I think she's an 8. Right? Simple. Tough. 8. This dude is so freaking goofy. I don't understand why he's got so many bottle openers on him. It might say in the lore, but what the hell? I think they look silly. I just not noticed that. The Volk nut on one side. Oh, he's got on 2 sides. Volknut. Yeah. That helmet's so dumb. The beard going off to the sides. Fun, but strange. The weapons are fine. Nothing crazy. I mean, obviously they're crazy large, but like they're not unique in any way. Aside from, no, I'm not trying to defend them. 7. I think he has enough flavor on him that he's unique and interesting and fun. I just don't necessarily like him personally. This chick, freaking dwarves and their chicks, they got him down. They're awesome looking. I love the spikes. They're so fun. Hold on. Move your shield. It was like a tooth. That's cool. Yeah. Face isn't bad at all. She's a little cross-eyed. Nothing crazy. Oh, the tooth again on her earring. Oh, and then I guess right here. Jesus, I missed that. Yeah. I mean, being Arnorn's daughter, she looks cool. Honestly, seeing a smile for once is a relief. And not seeing a smile with freaking crazy teeth. Yeah, not bad, right? So neck up is fine. Neck down is pretty average. Nothing to brag about. I think she's a 7. Right? I'd say 7. All right. What do you want from me? This dude is so freaking fun. He's so crazy. The crazy hood, the back piece, the freaking staff that I can never see. Dude, this camera, man. Gauntlet's cool. All the rags, the runes. Yeah, I would say, if I was being super critical, I would say 9, but I'm giving him a 10. I don't know how good the rest of the dwarves are going to be, so I don't really know how many 10s there are. And I'm going to try to give them out when they deserve it. I think he deserves it. That texture is really bad. Oh well. 10. Is she plagued with the same animation as the gentleman? No, not bad. Not bad. She's not clipping almost at all. And honestly, I like her weapon so much more. And her shield. The shield is insane looking. I love the mask. Can't see behind it. Makes sense. Yeah, she's cool. She gets an 8. That shiny freaking plate. What do you call it? You can't call it chainmail. It's like plate mail. It looks cool. 8. Ooh, boy. I don't think this is necessarily a controversial nor hot take. I think she's freaking awesome looking. She is regal. Her clipping isn't super egregious. We got the hair here. But her idol isn't too bad. The hair, yeah, the hair clips. But with all of their freaking, yeah, okay. Well, this is not too great. Yeah, I think she's a 9. I think she's awesome. This gold tablet. How heavy is this freaking outfit? Good lord. 9. Honestly, with the freaking that helmet. Good lord. I can almost see the weapon. 9. This chick is insane looking. Right? Like freaking corrupted porcelain doll. You know? She's insane. The snake staff is a move, right? The snakes on her headpiece here, her headgear, earrings, shoulders, a lot of snakes. Does she have poison? No, just sleep. No, snakes again on the belt. Arguably on these freaking, what do you call these? What would you call those? Call them sideburns. Anyway. Yeah, she's awesome. Snakes, cool vibe, cool motif. I like it. 9. This is the same version as the rare. Yeah, it even has. All right, cool. What did I give this guy? I mean, 6, right? Nothing crazy. Does he drop his staff too? Does he try to spin it and then drop it? I'm not going to wait here all day. Being that it's the same model. Oh. He dropped it. One way to see the axe, or to see the weapon. 6. Wow. We're all already on Legos. We're flying through this. Okay. Arnold is cool. Honestly, I hate his face. I think his face is too clownish. Right? That might be mean, but I can't not see a clown. Everything else is cool, right? Like if he had a faceplate that covered, kind of like, you might not be able to hear me as much, kind of like the Unity guy. If he had a faceplate, I think he'd look a lot cooler. I think the beard is very unique. I think that's kind of fun. Obviously, the shoulder pads emanating fire is a move. The boots having, good lord, I can't see the boots. Oh my god. Having like dragon faces on them. I think he is 8.5. If his hands were better, and if his face was better, he might get a lot higher. But I'm going to be hypercritical on Void Legos. Senna she's got a perfect face, right? Barely could tell. It's so lively. It's not nearly as dead as every other face in the game. Stance is fine. The floating, lights around her are awesome. The griffins, what are they? Maybe Pegasus on her staff are cool. The color schemes here, obviously, her eyes to the gem on her staff and her necklace, and then the lights around her. I mean, they look great. Everything about this looks great. Hair isn't bad at all. Very 3D. The shoulder piece is a bit plastic, but so be it. The sashes are all 3D. That looks great. And then you can see, because they're 3D, they're not warping in any weird way around her waist. You know, her waist is warping behind the static belts, sashes. Yeah. She's a 10. You're not getting much better than her. That's bad, right? Like the fur on the legs. That's pretty bad. But no, she's still a 10. Acrizia. This chick. When I first started in the game, this is all like Ash would talk about when I was watching YouTube. And pardon me. And then I started playing, like Elden Ring. And I fell in love with one of the bosses named Moog. Moog is awesome. And his in the game in Elden Ring, that dude's head is akin to how her helmet is, right? I think she's so cool. I think the color scheme, I mean, like, if you look at her boots, they're almost like purple. Then all of the dragon scales to make her armor. I don't know her lore. So forgive me. But I would imagine it's pretty cool. Honestly, her animation's so cool. Her eyes, they're not too bad. The way that the chainmail underneath her mask is warping is very weird. So I'll just decide not to look at that. I think she gets a 9.5. Only way she can get further is, again, she was put in the game before all the 3Ds that were put in. But if all this was 3D and not just painted on, she'd get a 10. I'm comfortable with a 9, I'm pretty sure. I don't think... Yeah, a 9. Tormund. Speaking of 3D, good lord. So I think he has the same animation as Newt. Yeah. Not too much clipping. Just an old dude, right? We got a lot of just kind of poor textures. This frost is done a lot better than that uncommon, right? The gem in the middle of the beard, it's a fun touch. The blue eyes, fun touch. Obviously, these horns are so cool. And like you can see, like that Pegasus type, that archetype again. You can see that this helmet is very akin to that Bolt dude that I wondered if kind of meant something. The shape is very similar. I mean, I think he gets a 10. I think he's an awesome dwarf. I think he's awesome. For a second, I thought there were like constellations in the ice or something, but no, it's just broken ice. Yep, 10. Oh, I just saw that there's a freaking snowflake. There's a snowflake on each side of the mace. That's cool. Obviously, the face on it, I saw that before, but I didn't see the snowflake. That's fun. Anyway, I'm sure this references a place. Dude, it's a Christmas tree. What the hell? Was he at Christmas Fusion at some point? Huh. 10. So this guy is pretty new at the time of recording. And I'm gonna be honest, I think he freaking rocks. This dude is so cool looking. He's got, you see his shoes? He's got like these plates on him. Yeah, I freaking love his gauntlets. I love his crown. Right? Yeah. I love the tattoos under his eyes. And you can see like where the rocks are emanating from his skin and the skin's warping. And like it was pushed out of the way, so like, you can definitively see that the rocks are sprouting from him. You know, it's a good touch. Yeah, this dude gets a 9. He's solid. Kind of clipping with his horn and his mug. Yeah, he's cool. This dude. So, in short, I like this dude a lot. But like he almost looks a bit confused. Like this reminds me too much of like a Roman aesthetic. And I know Roman Greek are coming. So when you have this with like the red and like the bull symbology, I don't know. The effects off of him are so cool. Right? All of this emanating energy. Looks like it's coming out of Final Fantasy 7. Yeah, I'd say 7.5. Everything about him looks cool. Simple idle animation. Enchant is so cool. Yeah, hair is a bit plastic. Like this, like this looks like what like when they sculpt the statues in Italy of philosophers and generals, and they sculpt the beards on those people. That's what this looks like. That's what this texture looks like. So I just can't help but to like for him to invoke that culture, even though he's a dwarf. I don't know. I'd say 7. 7. This guy, I really wanted to like him. I think his aesthetic is very cool. I think it's a bit too clean, which is probably on purpose, right? It's a bit too clean, and I hate the mouth. The mouth is so odd. The eyes are a bit weird. I love the black tusk motif, right? We have the boar tusks here, which is fine. I think he's a solid 8. He's just, yeah, again, another boar here on the back. Yeah, I mean, what else do you want? 8. Newt. Is Newt the first one with a skin that we've gone over? Yeah, we have Newt and Trunda. I'm be honest. I think Newt is like a 7. Maybe like a 6.5. Like dead face and just standard dwarf. And isn't he like a prince or something? Yeah. I'm saying 6.5. And then his second skin is like an 8.5. This is awesome. This is so sick. Like, look at that. The shield animates. Yeah. This is an 8.5. This is so cool. Anyway. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I've ever really seen her. Like, I used her, obviously, to light my eyes. I used her to fuse Mikage, but I don't think I really, like, looked at her. And you can imagine that she's like the queen. I don't know if she is. But Kira the Watcher. Because, like, the shield invokes that, like, this matriarch figure is holding up the kingdom. Right? So you can infer that from this shield. But I don't think she's saying that she's that person. I think she's guarding this person. So, maybe not the queen. But very queen-like. The hair is very cool. I'm saying she's a 9. Old textures, bring it back a little bit. I think she's a 9. That shield is so cool, though. This dude. This is like. What's his face's name in Critical Role? Campaign 3. The Taliesin's character. The gem dude. I think this is fine. I think he's cool. I think he's very unique. Very disturbed. Right? Kind of like an Elden Ring thing where the gems take over the dude's brain. Yeah. I think it's very interesting. I'd say 7.5. I don't like how naked he is. I'd rather him have pants on and shoes. But whatever. And also, if you see his mouth, like how it's being pushed open, that's a cool touch. I noticed at the last second. 7.5. All right. Molly. Special place in my heart for Molly. She was one of my first pulled legendaries. I think she was actually my first pulled legendary. I'll have to think about it, but I'm pretty sure. And she carried me through a lot. Between PvP and PvE, she carried me a lot. Oh, the squirrels. That's cool. Yeah. Honestly, biases aside, I think she's perfect design. I think she's a 10. She's whimsy. She's D&D-ish. She's just very fantasy, but like in a fun way. You know, she's not too serious. Her freaking weapon is a flaming sausage on a fork. Her freaking shield is cool. I don't know what it's supposed to be. She's got sausages and pretzels in her backpack. You know, priorities. Her hair is kept up out of the way, so nothing's clipping egregiously, right? So even she is like, yeah, I don't want my hair in the freaking way. You know? I can appreciate that. Yeah. For such an old model. And then again, her face isn't even that dead for being such an old model. She's a 10. She's so cool. And you could argue that like this pauldron is like kind of like a mug. You know, it's like half of a freaking mug. Or a stein. Yeah. Great design. 10. Tholin. All right. All right. I need you guys to just take a second. Okay? Just take a second. You see these effects? Right? Do you see that? Do you see? Honestly, I forgot about Tholen. I think he is an 11. This is so freaking cool. His hammer, his cudgel. I think that's what it's called. Demon Breaker. But isn't that type of weapon like a cudgel? A type of... Anyway. It's awesome. It's super sick. Right? You can kind of infer that like this symbol here, you could say, again, I haven't read the lore, so I'm not too sure on anything. You could say like, oh, it's kind of like a keyhole, or it's kind of like a whatever. Bro, I can't not see the horde symbol in that. You know? And then like a little bit over here on the hammer. Right? Man. Like this dude, and then the freaking shoulders, man. The shoulders are so cool. I don't really like the fangs in his mouth, to be honest. That part I'm not really a fan of. But the back piece, and you could even say that like there's a bit of a horde symbol as the mount that the head is attached to. It almost makes a horde symbol. But look at that freaking head, dude. Oh my god. The horns? Dude. Oh man. Yeah. 11. Okay. Off the bat. Anytime I see armor that's made to look fat, I can't think of anything else aside from Smo from Dark Souls. Very goblin, you know, obviously. The hand and the as a pommel is fun. Yeah. Is his head? His head is in the back of the sickle. Like his face? Do you see that? Oh, and his shield. Okay. Is it a mask? Oh, okay, so it's probably a mask. I guess I never really noticed. Is it a mask? Man, there's so much reading I have to do. I think this brings a very unique flavor. Right? We have the clovers on his knees. Obviously, clovers a lot other places, but I just now noticed the knees. All the different rings that he has on, all the coins that have been melded into his armor. Yeah, I think this is a 7.5. This dude, this dude's rad. Look at that freaking. You can only like that's what. All right, this back piece. I don't know. Again, I have a lot of reading to do. I don't know where this sword came from. But this, I want to see the champion that held this. Right? He's got like shields attached to his waist for leg armor, right? Some type of mountain imagery on this plate here. Yeah, this alone carries him because his mask is interesting, right? We have the flame crown, and we have the sheet like the armor around his beard, right? The crimson chin over here, but gold. We have the golden chin. Yeah, I will say that stretching is a bit wild. Like that's a bit intense, right? That's a bit wild. Oof. Um, I think he's an 8. He's very interesting. This carries him heavily. His arms are cool. His head's cool. All the tattoos are rad. 8. This guy is in the similar situation as that first elderly dwarf that we saw. That rare. The problem is, I hate the fact that I can see his eyes and teeth. Like, that makes me feel uncomfortable. Ugh. Anyway. The weapon's cool. The books are cool. The papers here, the scrolls are cool. The potions, the beard situation, all rad. You can tell he's kind of like an Einsteinish, you know, Einstein slash. Oh, the mask. Does that like clip on to his face? No. Does it? Maybe. I guess it could, right? Yeah, I think I'd like to see that. Put that on him. But again, I can still see his eyes. I don't know. I think he's a 7. A lot of lore could be extrapolated just from his appearance, you know? And the moon on one side, the sun on the other. Very alchemical. Yeah. 7. 7. So this is the king, right? Like that's the lore. I love the helmet. I think the helmet's so freaking cool. Shoulder piece, so cool. Look at that. Weapon, awesome. Clipping is pretty bad because of the weapon and how big he is, like how bulky he is. Without going too deep into this one. Yep. So Newt got it from Papa Mountain over here. Look in the back of the weapon. Too bad it won't let me. Solid 8, right? Honestly, the beard's just a bit too much. If I have, like, that's my main critique. The beard is a bit much. And it's, like, oddly clipping. Or it's oddly, like, the physics aren't working right here. Like, he's got freaking bedhead. It's just hair just standing up, you know? Anyway. 8. This dude. Good lord. This guy's wild. Look at this. The bones are a bit... Are they waving? Yeah, they're not quite following physics. The red eyes proportionally make sense. These like tablets. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. He's got another Vulcan up there. I like that tattoo style. It's very cool. On his ribs. It's very cool. I mean, solid 8, right? He's got like this obsidian blade. And it's like shining oddly. It's the only reason I know it's obsidian. Yeah. Sick. I don't think I'm out of touch here when I say this dude's stupid looking, right? Like, this dude is goofy. This dude gets a 5. He's wearing, like... I know they're chainmail boots, but they look like fuzzy socks from a distance. Right? And, like, his mitts. Yeah. Not to mention how freaking uncomfortable his mask is. Like, this helmet is just so obtuse. And it's, like, proportionally to his shoulders are just, like... I don't know. This dude's just odd looking. Not a fan. I'm saying he's a 5.5. I think he's dumb looking. I think this guy provides a lot of fun flavor. The cannons on his back. He's kind of like with that hammer. He kind of reminds me of like a dwarf version of Vulcan from Smite. That's kind of fun. I'm saying this dude is a 7.5. Fun flavor. Not very good, textures. Some of them are pretty poor. But a lot of fun ideas. 7.5. You gonna fidget a lot too? He almost makes sense a bit, right? He's a little bit twisted in the head. He's a lot of fidget. A lot of fidget. He's gonna do like that roar. Like that freaking uncomfortable cringy roar. So far not. He's not clipping too bad. He's kind of clipping pretty bad on the ground. Obviously the weapon on the ground is clipping a lot. Yeah, he won't sit still. He's uncomfortable. I love that crown. I think it's so cool. And like, I'm not gonna lie, his face. Who's the lead singer in Rob Zombie? Is it just Rob somebody? We're calling him Rob Zombie. This dude looks like Rob Zombie, right? With eyes like that and his freaking forehead and big nose, and he's Rob Zombie. He gets an 8. Very fun flavor. He's not clipping too bad. The colors are unique. Yeah. Oh man. We got here. Right? We got here. How do we rate Trunda? How do we rate Trunda? This is going to be... Oh, man. All right. First off, what's his hand doing? Like, clearly this hand... Honestly, she has very small hands. Odd. Honestly, I really do love the mace. The mace is so sick. The hair, the freaking Super Saiyan hair, the helmet. Honestly, I don't really like the helmet because it reminds me of like a rack. Okay. Hold on. Before jokes are made. Like a weapon rack. Like something that she would hang something onto. Right? Not her rack. I think it looks... I mean, like... Call me crazy, but I think you could put this, like, her weapon in those slots, right? Like, you would put it, like, right where this guard is here, where this gold-plated guard is, and you just put it up sideways, right? Her look is kind of dumb. I guess it's not that bad. I do appreciate the fact that her weapon emanate like it's illuminating her. That's pretty cool, right? She is a Trunda out of 10. And she has 3 skins. Or 2 skins. Oh, sweet Jesus. The Mjolnir back here. That's cool. I'm assuming those are Hunin and Munin, the 2 ravens of Odin. Looking at the tattoo. I'm trying to look at the tattoos at least. They're pretty cool. Again, very Norse. Honestly, I love this one a lot. I am hella biased to this. I think this skin is a 10. I think it's so cool. Love the eyes. Very cool. This one, I want to like. I don't know if I like the shoulder situation. Obviously, it's very reminiscent of the aesthetic of Frawley. Right? I love that mace. That is so sick. That is so cool. Yeah, I would say this one... don't know, something just brings me out of it a bit. I don't know. Um, I'd say it's a 8.5. With all the particle physics, though, I think I might have to give it a little bit higher. I think it's a 9. Yeah, I'm comfortable with a 9. Now, the last two mythicals. I understand. This dude is so poor. Right? He's so bad. But they really made him look so cool. I love this totem, dude. Man. First form is a 10. First form is a 10. He's so sick. The wolf on the hilt of the knife and the scabbard for it, or the hilt for, no, yeah, the scabbard is just all intricate, carved. Everything is, so highly detailed. The acorns. Yeah. 10. Second form. Honestly, I thought about this a little bit when I was looking at the Trunda skin. I think I'm a little bit biased to this like frost aesthetic, especially with dwarves. I think this looks so cool, pun intended. And the fact that he's like that, the Wolfman ish. Yeah. And I think we all could agree that his kit could be extremely overhauled, especially with how he looks, right? Like, for example, he does a lot of freezing in this form. You would assume that based on how he looks. First form, I would assume, like, burns almost. HP burn. I would even argue HP burn and heals, right? And no, we have more freezes. And like, I would not assume speed when I see this guy, right? Sure, I mean, I appreciate that he does, have this, but man, second form is so cool, so fun. Yeah, I think this guy. I think both forms get a 10. Okay, well, I'll say this. Second form does not feel very dwarvish. Right? First form, obvious. Second form, not so much. Second form, not so much. Because you could even argue that this could be the second form to an Ogren. You could say that this guy could be the second form to a barbarian. Like, if you were shown this form first, you would not say automatically, like, oh, this guy obviously is a part of the Dwarven faction. I don't think you could. Obviously, we know he is. And obviously, because I've been looking at them for so long, a lot of the dwarves have the same freaking shoes. So, there's that. But, anyway. No, I think this guy gets a 9. I think he's very cool looking. I don't think, pun intended, but I don't think he's very dwarvish. So he gets knocked a point. And I think that's fair. Frolny, I think he is freaking awesome looking. I love the mohawk. I love the accents of pink and purple. The only little bit of lore is the little blurb that Nub said in his video when he was rating all of the appearances of the mythicals. That the gauntlet is taking over him or something. Awesome. I do kind of like that the fact that the gauntlet and the boot are on different appendages. But like me personally, like I would kind of rather this one side be a bit more Centurion and then the other side not. But who cares, I guess. Now, I'm not 100%, but I'm like pretty sure like this shape of an axe is in Skyrim. Or at least similar to this, right? And then when I see the second form, all I see is like the dwarven machinery in Skyrim. The Centurions, right? Again, but it's so cool. We got, again, another Mjolnir down here. We have like these horseshoes, which are kind of cool. The chains themselves are obviously very cool. The shoulders are awesome with the, I forget what these are called. Obviously they have a name, but they're awesome. So this is the animation that we saw with the old man in the beginning. Okay. Are the runes there in the first form? On the axe? They aren't. That's a fun touch. So the axe gets RGB lights. Awesome. Ship it. And there's a picture of an axe on the axe. Okay, cool. Sure. Yeah, I think the second form, I think the face is a bit dumb. Right? We got like dwarven grouch happening. I don't really think that's very cool. I don't think I like the draping like leather straps from his crown. I think those are kind of weird. But you know, what are you gonna do? Honestly, I think this guy gets an 8.5. I think he's very cool. I think he invokes dwarvish, but I think he's kind of an old model at this point. You know, a lot of him I can defend. Like this hair is new age hair, 100%. I respect it. You know, a lot of the warping that happens around the chest. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe final answer, 8.5. Ship it. That's it. Man. Done. Oh, man. Just in time. Oh, man. I didn't realize the speed was so high. Is the speed high in the second form, or the first form too? Nope. So the second form has high speed? Strange. Does he have turn meter boost? Anyway, that's it. Those are the dwarves. Oh man, I'm glad I got that done. I was not looking forward to the dwarves. As I looked through them, I was like, man, these guys are dumb looking. Some of them were pretty cool. Some of them are pretty cool. I freaking love Tholen. I think he's so sick, but he's like also like the least dwarf. So, I mean, I don't know. The pommel to the weapon is so sick. I love the boots to him. The physics aren't really working on that boot, but oh well. Anyway, what are the other highlights? Senna is peak, right? She's great design. She's so cool. Acrizia is cool. Love the sword. Right? The helmet is amazing. The frickin' I love her arm plates. That dragon scales. Super cool. Demitha. Similar. Right? Awesome. Super cool appearance. Trunda is Trunda. And that's it. And next we will do, oh man, Knights Revenant. Oh man, I'm so excited for this, man. Oh man, if I have time tonight, I'm recording again. And we get our first common. Oh man, I'm hyped for this. These guys are so awesome. So many of these are so cool. Oh, spoiler. Embreeze is one of my favorite appearances in the entire game. Both forms, one of my favorite looking champions. He is so freaking cool. Oh, man. Anyway. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, man. Dark Elves I'm not super hyped for. Right? Dark Elves are fine. I think Dark Elves are going to be similar to Dwarves. I think they're fine. Undead Horde, super hype. Love Calamitous. I think he's so sick looking. I'm going too deep. I have to get ready. I'm sorry. I have somewhere to be. Anyway. Yeah, I got the freaking gold 4 in tag. I didn't want to. I did by accident. I hate being gold 4, dude. You get some of the worst freaking... The worst of the worst. Oh, and then I saw... I think it's probably gone by now. Yeah. Freaking Drock beat the crap out of me in my in my classic arena defense. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Anyway, it's fun when you see a content creator in your feed. That's always a good time. But anyway, I'm sure there's quite a few that I don't recognize. Pirate Luffy, that's so fun. I'm battling him right now. Auto. Wish me luck. Oh my god, I'm faster. GG. Fun. You guys have so much fun watching that? Man. So much fun. Oh. Alright. That's my ranking of the dwarves. Oh boy. I don't know what's happening at this point. The most resistance on a frickin'... All my champions are just going off, doing random things now. Oh, Lord. Oh, no. Hey, it worked.